In 1881, the Pere Marquette Railroad constructed a through truss swing bridge to carry the Pere Marquette Railroad over the Black River just west of where the river joins the St. Clair River. A large center caisson supported the new bridge, which allowed the bridge to pivot, providing channels on either side of the caisson. The presence of the caisson limited the size of vessels on the river and became a navigation obstacle when, on several occasions, it was struck by marine vehicles. By 1920, a strong move in the community ushered the replacement of the structure with a bridge that would not impede river traffic and allow for greater industrial growth along the river. One Port Huron-based manufacturer, who used the river to move their goods, urged the construction of a new bridge that would provide for wider passage to accommodate the increased size of ships. The need to accommodate increased ship size was based on the ongoing construction of a new wheeling canal connecting Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, providing access to the area by larger vessels. In May 1929, the County Board of Supervisors voted to replace the bridge, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers issued a permit for a 100-foot span bridge to be constructed near the existing bridge. The original bridge would remain in place while the new bridge was constructed in order to maintain rail service. The new bridge was designed following a new patent for the Abt Bascule, named for its inventor, Hugo A. Abt. Patented in 1921, the Abt Bascule bridge included several key components, including a movable bridge leaf, or deck, an A-frame structure supporting a heavy counterweight used to move the leaf, and a landing structure on the opposite side of the river. The counterweight is mounted on the A-frame structure and positioned high enough to provide clear passage to trains when the bridge leaf was lowered. When the counterweight is lowered, the bridge leaf is raised to provide unobstructed passage on the river. The motor, mounted on a toothed track positioned between the A-frame structure at the head of the movable bridge leaf, facilitates bridge movement. This design detail distinguishes the Abt Bascule from all other Bascule bridges. Images of the bridge, following completion, show the counterweight in the up position and the track down to facilitate train crossings. And when the counterweight is down, the bridge raises to open the river to traffic. This image shows that the river is open for navigation in the raised position. On November 14, 1929, the Times-Herald reported that the War Department approved the new Pere Marquette plan, with construction scheduled to begin the following February. The Pere Marquette Railroad estimated the project would cost $500,000 and that 2 firms would complete the project. The American Bridge Company of New York was hired to construct the bridge superstructure, and the Detroit-based Jutton Kelly Company carried out the work on the substructure. Final plans revealed that the bridge would be 19 feet wide and 261 feet long. The bridge comprised 1 movable and 2 fixed spans to carry a single railroad track. The bridge substructure included the placement of several piers in the Black River near the south bank, where the landing apparatus would be placed, and a pivot pier near the north bank. The largest of the 4 planned piers was near the north bank, where the bridge's lift span would swing. Additional pier clusters were located near each bank of the river, one upstream and downstream of each pier, with wooden access walkways extending from the banks. The original bridge remained in place and in operation as construction of the new bridge transpired around it. An April 8, 1931 Times-Herald news article reported the steelwork on the north bank was nearing completion. By May, contractors estimated the new structure would be ready for operation by August. The steel span was constructed in an upright position off-site, and once the foundation and surrounding steel structure was complete, a crane lifted the span into place. This plan required only a short interruption of train traffic across the Black River. After several delays, on July 10, 1931, the Times-Herald reported that the new bridge was completed. Acetylene torches were used to cut away the center 30 feet of the old bridge. A flat-bottom barge hauled away the removed remnants of the old structure. The Times-Herald reported that the same day the new bridge was completed, it was placed into regular operation, with the first train across the structure that afternoon. Once the bridge was open, the train engineer would have seen this view when crossing the bridge, looking down the track, past the control house, and across the bridge. This was the view that was seen for years, with the bridge manned year-round to open and close the bridge as needed. During its history, the bridge provided railroad access to the businesses located on the north side of the Black River. It served as a connection to the rail route that traveled from Pine Grove Park at the north end of the city, northward to Croswell and Bad Axe, Michigan. The Pere Marquette Railroad merged with the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad in 1946, and by 1947 was operating under their name. For the first few decades of its use, the bridge was manned year-round and was open to allow ships to pass through. However, after World War II, the railroad reduced its staffing at the bridge to allow operation during the regular shipping season of March to November, and the bridge was left up to allow for river traffic for the remainder of the year. By the mid-1960s, under C&O ownership, operations were reduced to only open the bridge to train traffic on an as-needed basis. In 1971, the Pine Grove Park to Croswell-Bad Axe line was abandoned, and the track was removed through the park. The bridge continued to function for a brief time to provide access to several businesses north of the river, but around 1974, even these shipments were discontinued. The bridge was largely abandoned in 1975, with the pivot leaf left in the up position. One member of the Pere Marquette Historical Society noted that the bridge was used a final time in the 1980s to help switch extra-long trains for the railroad's car ferry, but no other sources substantiate this. In 2011, the Port Huron Yacht Club purchased the Scenic Point property, including the Pere Marquette Railroad Bridge. This greatly expanded the holdings of the Yacht Club, but the presence of the bridge parcel has limited the use of the property. The Yacht Club plans include removal of the bridge to enable the use of the entire property in meeting the needs and purpose of the organization concerning the promotion and participation in competitive sailboat racing and cruising. To this end, the Yacht Club has pursued a permit from the United States Corps of Engineers to enable the removal of the bridge. In 2021, it is believed that only 8 Abt Bascule bridges were constructed in the U.S., 3 in California, 1 in Wisconsin, 1 in Texas, and 3 in Michigan. 3 of these bridges have been or will soon be removed. One of these, the Port Huron Pere Marquette Abt Bascule Bridge, which is scheduled for removal after over 50 years of active service and 90 years as a landmark at the shore of the Black River. During its history, the bridge not only enabled the railroad to operate, but ensured that the river remained open for navigation by commercial and pleasure boats.